Cam and Colin, run in here and come get y'all juice.
I've said a bajillion times at this point that puzzle games always made me feel all warm and fuzzy playing them. They're engaging, lovable, and full of charm no matter what puzzle game you're playing. Oddworld for its memorable, eccentric design along with this puzzle platforming, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for just being plain adorable, but most importantly for its dungeon crawling action and puzzle solving at its peak definition. Professor Layton for not puzzle solving, but literal puzzles and riddles, with each game having a story that's either super duper sweet or super duper painful. No joke, guys, these games don't play around. I recommend Diabolical Box. And I guess The Wolf Among Us counts too, but by a huge stretch. It's just a comforting genre for me. Despite me being a dumb piece of stupid with no life plan, I'm more of a guy that likes to use his fat head rather than use his chubby sausage finger hands. I wanted to dedicate this episode to the origins of my love for puzzle games. It's not my personal favorite genre, but it's always one I come to whenever I need some stress relief or some comfort. Like when my dad left. Anywho, Looney Tunes Sheep Raider, the game solely responsible for my love for puzzle games. Now let me ask y'all, have any of you heard of this game? It's a weird question to be honest, because right now, approximately 2/5 of you are raising your hands right now. It seems like another branded game, but it's often claimed to be a great underrated game on the PS1, and I didn't expect people to know it that well, or like it for that matter. Another way to put it is that its fans are there, but you gotta do some digging to find them. Now, firstly, before we get started deep diving into the game, how about some history? Y'all know what Looney Tunes is, right? Don't answer that because yes you do. I watched these cartoons all the time as a kid, and I'm positive y'all have too. Now the show is usually separated into individual series, like Bugs Bunny being a massive prick for no reason, and Sylvester trying to get a nibble out of Tweety. And Sheep Raider, the game we're looking at today, is based off of one of those series, and it's actually my personal favorite Looney Tunes show, even though it was incredibly short-lived. It stars Ralph Wolf, Wile E. Coyote's cousin, hence the similarity, and Sam Sheepdog. It follows Ralph Wolf trying to grab some of that sheep poo being guarded by the sheepdog. He comes up with some over-the-top plans like his coyote counterpart, but just like Wiley, his plans get foiled by Sam every time. Seems just like another Looney Tunes show, right? But what makes this one my favorite? Well, let me tell you. You see, the show follows one central character, usually being Daffy or Bugs Bunny. Then you get the villain character that gets the torture, sometimes for no reason at all. Which is why I've grown to hate Bugs for being a huge ass 25/8, and why I've grown to love the heck out of Elmer Fudd, no matter which side he's on. He is the most lovable and sweetest character in the cast. Fight me on that. I'd marry him. But anyway, anywho, that's my beef with the show. Now, this show does have its central character and villain, but all the other Looney Tunes shenanigans is literally their full-time job. They deadass clock in and out of their show, and they do it all over again the next day. They act like enemies in the scene because it's their job, but in reality, they're the best of friends. Hecky, Sam at one point saw how beat up Ralph was, and he offered to kick his own ass and let Ralph take the day off.
You've been working too hard, Ralph. Why don't you take tomorrow off? I can handle both jobs.
Now that's what I call looking out for your brother. They know it's just part of the job, and I sure hope Ralph makes at least $20 an hour. Considering the working conditions, he makes at least 3 trips to the hospital a week. This series is just wholesome to me. Every other show is based off of pure bitterness and downright acidry, but these two treat it like a job, and they most likely go out for a drink afterwards or go fishing in the weekends. Not that many people know about this cartoon or Ralph Wolf entirely, so I thought of educating y'all, so I hope you don't mind. So yeah, this series of Looney Tunes has its very own game, Sheep Raider, or in the Power region, Sheepdog and Wolf. It was developed by Infogrames Lionhouse and was released back in 2001. At its release, it received pretty okay reviews, so from the looks of it, this ain't something Warner Brothers pooped out just for the sake of a Looney Tunes game. But what exactly are we looking at though? Well, why not we check it out? Let's get down and funky with Looney Tunes Sheep Raider. So we start off the game with the usual shift for Ralph and Sam. Ralph grabs the meat, but just before he can escape,
Nani?
After the shift, the two head on home to do it all over again in the morning.
I'm taking over Victoria's Secret. I'm taking over Best Buy. The news is mine.
But immediately after Ralph heads home, Daffy Duck out of nowhere breaks the Fourth Amendment to introduce Ralph to his new game show, Sheepdog and Wolf, with Ralph being the main star contestant. We get to how the game show works, which I'll get into in just a bit, don't rush me. We head over to the game studio, and just like that, let's begin the games. We travel through 15 levels, stealing sheep from Sam's flock until we eventually take the whole dang herd. We use wacky tools to help us capture the little critters, meat intact by the way. We take our little bundle of joy to the Go Ring, located somewhere on the map. But we gotta be in the ring too, otherwise it doesn't count as a win. The white little lamb is then taken to the TV studio, and that's one sheep down, this many to go. We just keep on stealing one sheep per level until we win the game. Not that much story to go on. And as for this Anthro Twink material, that's perfectly fine. He just has his eye on the prize. Ooh, that sweet, pure, beautiful, scrumptious, succulent piece of thick, fine prime meat. I could just clap them fine cheeks all night long. Anyway, gameplay. So each level starts with a short overview on the map you're in, sort of giving you a head start on your planning and giving you an idea what you're in for. Some stages starts off with Daffy Duck giving you some little hints on showing you how certain mechanics work. Now it's just you and a map of the area so you can see where the herd is and where the items are. In most cases, if not all the time, what you're going to be doing is hunting down these blue mailboxes here, aka the visible manifestation of the Lord's blessing on earth. So please treat it with respect and pray to— Don't just whack it! Oh hey, it worked. Anyway, with the power of Amazon Prime same-day shipping, we get our package either conveniently right next to us or the UPS feels like being jackasses today. Can I speak to the manager? These total lifesavers include dynamite because yes, a surprisingly useful office appliance, a metal detector, a fake decoy, an actual decoy, and my personal favorite, rocket! There's also a few other items you can grab but are lying around in the open that can help you, like bombs. Their uses can be varied, but first you gotta defuse them, then you can place them wherever you want. But to be honest, you're not gonna be using these a lot. You can't even use it on Sam, trust me, I tried.
Nani? お前はもう死んでいる。
So what else can I use this on? Anybody in the mood for roast duck?
Oh my god, she dead.
But the most important item of all is the good old-fashioned devil's lettuce. You can leave a trail of lettuce down for the sheep to eat, luring them away from the herd or to get them to a certain spot you want them to be in. Just make sure you pay attention to this icon right here. If it goes red or disappears, the sheep won't see the next book of lettuce and they'll just stop right in the middle of munching. Just make sure the lettuce is at a reasonable distance between each other. Now, usually when we do get our item, the next step is either find the next mailbox or use that item to advance to a certain spot so that we can get to the next point. The items that are available in the current level will be in your main menu. The transparent icons are the ones you haven't collected yet, but it does highlight where they can be found. But once you do find all the items, you could just simply go from there and it's time for some lamb stew. Another thing you gotta keep in mind is look at your map. This game is centered around puzzle solving and planning. It does have that staring at a blueprint and trying to figure out your next move feeling. It was only easy for me since I played this game so many times, but looking at your map and finding your items is mega crucial. But like I said before, the map gives you the general area with the locations of each mailbox and the area Sam and his flock are located, which is most likely where you want to try to head towards first and foremost. It also highlights areas you want to take caution on, like minefields and fishies looking for a snacky. Though they're not gonna get much out of you. Keep an eye on your surroundings and just make sure you don't go splat, chomp, kablooey, nor falling in lava for a really disturbing death. Now with that jibber jabbish out of the way, how about our main objective, capturing the sheep? Now about that, obviously you want to go about doing so without Sam's sheepdog noticing you, right? Not to worry, not only we have the proper tools to do so by then, but also this dude is kinda stupid. Firstly, when you do set foot in the flock area, you'll see this icon icon with Sam's head slowly going back and forth. That's actually where he's facing in your perspective. When the icon is green, that means you're in the clear. He can't see nor hear you. And sometimes you could be literally right next to the dude. And not a nudge. Just remember that as long as the icon is green, you won't be getting the beaten. However, if the icon is orange, that means you're deadass in his area. So use your sneaking button to traverse in the area and hide when you see Sam's face about to look at you. Fail to do that and you'll get the red alert right here. That means make peace with the Lord Jesus right this second, because this dude is about to drag you into hell himself. Bolt, run, post haste, you are speed, get out! Don't worry if it sounds like a whole lot, because the wide cast of characters, mostly Daffy, will be giving you some tips and tricks along the way, like how to use the lettuce, how to use certain items, and how you can combine certain items. But as long as you play the tutorial level in front of the TV studio, you should get all the basics down. And while you're hunting down some fresh meat in a level, keep an eye out for these time clocks here that are hidden in certain areas in each level. These unlock cool bonus features like concept art, in-game models, and even instructions on how to unlock the 2 hidden levels. I did one of them because the other one was another time travel level, and I'm lazy, back off. Now don't think it's the simple get the sheep and leave process with every level, because each level has a unique way to steal the sheep, either sometimes by level design or certain enemies. Most of the ice levels deal with bombs that require more puzzle solving power. The time travel levels requires you to travel to the past and back to place stones and seeds to basically set up the climbable trees and the rocks to hide behind yourself. It's not a good time though, I'm just warning you. And my personal favorite, the haunted level with a dash of Luigi's Mansion and Persona dancing all night. Each level has its own Looney Tunes charm, and you'll get a good chuckle a few times simply because of how charming each one is. You'll get locked up and you need to find a way out. You'll be disguised as a sheep to lure the other sheep away. You control the train stations. You're a time god. You can blow Sam up. Oh yeah, never mind, you can't do that. So yeah, you won't be going in simply to grab the sheep and hitting the trail. Each level is unique and has special requirements to reach certain points and to get the job done. It makes each trip fun and memorable without the sense of repetition or drag. Speaking of which, each stage looks beautiful for its time. Its polygon art style definitely blends in with the cartoony Looney Tunes style, using the limited hardware to its advantage really. You can see ripples of the water, bits of flowers and grass, and butterflies flying in the air. And you can see that each area has a cool aesthetic to it, which is really nice in my opinion. They could have easily pooped this out, but no, they pitched in the extra legwork to make this a neat experience, which I really appreciate. Which brings me to my favorite subject. Have y'all listened to this game's OST? Each music track that I could swear came from a 70s porno, it's chill, ambient, jazzy, groovy, and most importantly, funky. Actually, fun fact, I use this OST all the time in my videos, and it's the music you've been listening to all throughout the entire video. But now, I want you to sit down and listen to some of these jazzy tracks without my annoying voice talking your ear off. So without further ado, pump the jam, yo. So, in conclusion, this game may come across as a weird kids game for the PlayStation 1, but make no mistake, this game is hecky fun no matter who you are, even with the Looney Tunes logo behind it. It's easy to get into, it's charming, wacky, funky, and surprisingly a neat experience for a game based off of a cartoon. Now, at least in my opinion, usually as we get older into fine wines, our taste in games changes despite our nostalgia. We may come across a nostalgic game or two and we just wonder, why did we like this as kids, or why did I spend over 100 hours on this one game? I'm looking at you, Sonic Heroes. I thought that was going to be the same case for Sheep Raider, but I wound up enjoying it the same. It's a neat puzzle platformer that even IGN states is one of the better unknown games for the PS1. Not the best, but if you come across it, check it out. This game has a big ol' fat recommendation from me. And most importantly, let's not forget the cartoon that the game is based off of. It's just another wacky cartoon with nonsensical hijinks, but to these two, it's just another day, another dollar. Well, that was another good old-fashioned hot take. My game take. What did you guys think of this video? Hecky, what do you think of Sheep Raider? Y'all be sure to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and be sure to like, and most importantly, subscribe, because guys, I'm not going anywhere. You'll be seeing me again, and I only get funkier every time. And y'all make sure to click on that bell too, so you never miss an upload whenever a new episode comes out. If y'all want the latest updates on what's going on, I recommend checking out my Twitter page and my Facebook page. But if you want to go the extra mile in supporting me, I recommend checking out my Patreon or my TeePublic store for some funky fresh merch. All the links are down below. So, until we meet again, guys, be cool, be wild, and be groovy. And remember, with Christmas coming up, y'all make sure to burn off some extra calories, because Thanksgiving and Christmas back to back means, oh boy.